groovy.
It's for the best.
Yoo-hoo! And thanks for tuning in to another cult horror movie review. Since there is no shortage of Stephen King adaptations, how's about we look at what I consider to be one of the very best to ever come out? Misery, starring James Caan and Kathy Bates, a psychological horror thriller movie, and let me tell you, it is really intense, there's no denying that. And ultimately, it may just be my favorite movie based off of one of King's novels. But just before we get going, if there's a cult horror movie you would like me to review, just leave me a comment down below. Don't forget to like this review, subscribe, let me know your thoughts and feelings on Misery. James Caan, who I previously knew from Rollerblade, plays a famous writer called Paul Sheldon. He's most famous for a series of books named Misery, hence the movie's title. He suffers a terrible car crash, but is saved by what is seemingly a slightly eccentric but charming woman.
I'm your #1 fan.
If that were only it. We gradually find out that this woman called Annie is absolutely obsessed with Paul and knows every little detail of his life and the books he's written. She even named her pet pig Misery. I bet the Misery in question would be happy to know that. But things get intense whenever Paul has the audacity to say or do the slightest thing which displeases her. She goes into these terrifying maniacal fits of anger.
You sick, twisted fuck!
My thoughts exactly. You really just want to kick her ass. This insane woman does everything in her power to keep Paul from escaping. It's fascinating in a chilling way to see how Annie can go from being a normal sweet person to an insane and hateful lunatic that screams and lashes out at everyone and everything. We progressively discover that Annie is not all there in the head, to say the very least. Stephen King has expressed that Annie Wilkes is his favorite character he's ever written, because she was always so fun and surprising to write, full of unexpected twists and turns, and I couldn't agree more. Kathy Bates was perfectly cast for the role. She does a great job portraying this evil woman. She did so well that she actually won an Oscar for Best Performance, which she totally deserved. It's a simple concept, the story is not too complicated, but director Paul Reiner managed to bring us 1 hour and 50 minutes of real suspense and terror. Even though he's all broken up, Paul is always trying to come up with ways he can escape. He's got to always make sure that he's not caught by Annie when she comes back home. It's really suspenseful and unnerving, because you never know if he's going to make it or not, considering all the odds are stacked against him. I enjoyed the presence of Richard Farnsworth as the deputy sheriff. He kinda stands out from most law enforcement characters in this kind of movie because this guy actually takes the gravity of the situation seriously. He's much more proactive and wants to get to the bottom of things. And so, speaking about getting to the bottom of things, overall, Misery is a great, fascinating, and frightening film to watch. I'll say it again, I think this is my favorite Stephen King adaptation. You guys are really gonna want to watch this one.